Competition's important, and if you're going to do well at that level, and if you're going to get world and Olympic medals, then you have to embrace competition.
It's unethical if you're pushing someone to do something they don't want to do.
When you're at senior level and you want to compete against the best in the world, you have to push yourself as hard, and I was often asking my coach to be pushed harder.
Pressure, if it's a negative pressure, if we have fear, if we're discouraged, if we lack belief, if we're unfocused, then that's unhelpful. If the pressures enable you to achieve things that you want to achieve, if it's a very light kind of push in the right direction, then it's a useful thing.
I did the Commonwealth Games in Melbourne in 2006. I also went to the World Championships in 2005, and I've done various other championships. When I was training full-time, I would be training typically 2 running sessions a day, and then in the middle of the day there'd be some sort of gym work or drills or hurdle work on the track. It's not such a great idea to make yourself get up and do it at the crack of dawn, because you really, to get the best out of yourself.
There are going to be days when you don't want to, and that's kind of where you need some kind of external source to kind of G you up. That's when you kind of need the pushy parent. The point is, the goal has to be your goal. So if your goal is to achieve it at the top, then an agreement has to be made that these people are going to push you.
I tried my best to make the 2008 Beijing Olympic team. I trained full-time, sort of gave up everything for that year, as did all of my competitors. I ended up coming 3rd at trials, thinking I was going to get given the 3rd spot, but they gave it to the 4th girl because she had a faster time than me from the year before. Really, really devastated. I mean, I cried a lot that day. You know, I'd given up a lot for it and tried really, really hard, but you know, I did my best, and I know that I couldn't have really done any better. Failure affects people on an individual basis.
Something I come across quite often is where someone has dedicated so much of their time to something, and at the same time experience such high levels of pressure that it becomes completely unpleasant. The thing they used to love doing has become really, really unpleasant to do. So they just give up. They may not come back to it at all for many years at least.
I remember when we were younger, girls who didn't perform well in races, there's been a lot of tears, nervous young children who've had too much pressure on them, like shaking and crying before and after races, and I've certainly cried after races. But you know, again, it's something that changes as you mature through the age groups. Failure is something you have to learn to accept. It's part and parcel of the sport, and in athletics you don't win every race.
If you're feeling complete stress all the time, it can lead to very early burnout because you're mentally, physically exhausted.
I still run, I still keep fit, and obviously going from running 80 to 90 miles a week, I can't just go to running 0. I think I'm probably in a happier place.